Hello, my name is Jaffer Oviedo. My major is art education, and my pronouns are he, him. I was born in America, but I am Mexican American. These are things that I enjoy. Um, Mainly, it's movies, podcasts, and hobbies. I enjoy drawing or illustrating, sketching, doodling whenever I'm at the train. I also enjoy rock climbing, swimming, and boxing as physical things to do. I also enjoy listening to this one podcast called "Give Me an Answer," where a man named Cliff goes to college campuses and has very intelligent debates, conversations about um, religion, mainly the Bible. It's like a Christian podcast, and you can watch videos on it. Another one is cinema therapy, where these two creators watch movies and they talk about how they would go about it if they went through therapy properly. One of them is a therapist, a licensed therapist, and the other one is a filmmaker. Um, so they both show their perspectives on the filmmaking aspect, but also the therapy and mental health aspect, which is very nice. And there's just this one show on Netflix that I like called Love, Death, and Robots, where each episode is a mini story, and they just are all made in different styles. It's either live actors or animated in 3D, animated in 2D. Just very I see it as like a unique show that shows different artists' styles. One discourse community that I enjoy that I frequent at is mosaics. A lot of the time when we talk about grout spacing, spacing between lines of the tiles, how to use the tiles correctly, layer breaking, which only happens if you just didn't apply the grout on properly and the tiles just keep breaking off, and it's just the worst thing you could ever have. Or you can have groove faces because tiles have different sides of faces. There's a smooth, beautiful side, and then a groovy side, which is supposed to hold on to the grout. And whenever I would teach kids how to make tiles, they would always show the groove side, and it would make it look very strange. And the tile piece would just fall off because the smooth side couldn't hold on to anything. Another one is my culture. Being Mexican, we always have our sayings, ponte las pilas, which means, put on your batteries. That's a straight translation, but it really means like, get ready, get moving, stay focused, do what you need to do. That's very much our culture. Also, si te llevas, te aguantas, which means like if you're gonna, if you play rough, if you get out of hand while playing, don't be surprised if the person you're messing with messes with you back, and don't complain about it. We're very, very straightforward people. We're very artistic, very, very culturally beautiful. And honestly, I thank God that I was born Mexican. Another one is autism. I myself am in the spectrum. I'm autistic. Many of the times when I talk to fellow neurodivergent people, it's neurodivergent means, you are neurally different. Your brain works very differently. You need to do stemming, which is you can either flap your hands or do noises that causes a soothing aspect to yourself if you're feeling overstimulated, which is when you are having sensory overload. Your lights are too bright, there's too much sound, both at the same time. You just don't like how your clothes feel on you for some reason, stuff like that. Another one is industrial design. That was my undergrad. I was learning how to make 3D models in the computer, which are called CADing. Orthos drawings, which is basically showing the design in the very basic front view, side view, but aligned so it looks like a map more or less. chamfers in 3D models. That was one of the things that make a 3D model look real if you gave them fillets, chamfers, grooves, all that stuff. And then lastly, boxing. I realized I just know the lingo of it pretty well. The cross hooks, which is a cross hook is when you use your non-dominant hand to throw a jab, but you kind of rotate your body and your arm is in a 90-degree angle, so it's a hook and it's crossing because you're non-dominant. Bob and weave is a saying, which is just dodging, as you could see in the example of uh, Canelo versus Mayweather. Mayweather is just he's weaving. Well, actually, he's bobbing. Then there's southpaw, which is me, it means if you're a lefty fighter, and then a straight jab is just what Canelo's doing right there. Infighters, which is people who kind of like they like to get stay really close to their opponent, and outfighters where they rely on the length of their arms to get in good hooks. And it's actually a culture in itself. It's not just a sport, but I do believe that each sport does hold its own culture, and that's kind of what you see here. I would say that I'm not extremely well versed into it. I'm not. I would just say I'm pretty. I would say I'm more knowledgeable than most.